Sorare is a fantasy football game in which you can play and earn. With player cards available from around 245 clubs, you can bid and purchase the digital cards from the auction. You can then use those cards in different leagues and can even sell them for profit. Click on the link below, sign up, get common cards as a bonus, and if you decide to purchase limited cards, you'll get a free 6th limited card on 5 purchases. Check it out now. Hello and welcome back to the channel everyone. I am back with another FPL video, and in this one I'll run you through my team selection for game week 14. We'll obviously look at what transfer moves I'm about to make in the upcoming game weeks before we head towards the World Cup and we get the unlimited transfers. So yeah, in this one I'll run you through my team selection and just talk about my transfer plans. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do that and help me reach 700 subs sooner. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. So yeah, I'm using Plan FPL, so a huge shout out to planfpl.com for giving us this amazing planner. It has made life pretty easier for everyone. Let me just fix it so you can see my whole team. So yeah, now I'll talk about game week 14 first, and as you can see, Guetta to start in goal against Southampton. Pretty much the reason to pick up Guetta was that, I expected Crystal Palace to keep clean sheets in the games they had. So yeah, in one game he did return me a clean sheet, and in others, he just got me some extra saving points. Like in a game where he could have gotten another keeper would have gotten at least 1 or 2, he got me 3, and similarly where he could have another keeper would have gotten me 1, he got me 2. So yeah, those extra saving points, like I'm talking about, were a huge edge for me to somewhat gain the rank as a differential keeper I had. Now obviously a lot of people own other keepers too, like there is Ramsdale who people own. There were Nick Pope is owned by a lot of managers, and he was he kept losing the clean sheet, and he got only 1 or 2, and on the other hand Guetta got returned me with three points in those games. So yeah, that gave me a little bit boost for the rank. So he faces Southampton this week, and the reason to play him over Ward is that as you can see, it is quite visible that Ward faces Man City and Guetta faces Southampton. Southampton obviously is playing a really good game. They were pretty alright against Arsenal too. We saw they got a goal and they were defensively alright, So I do not expect Guetta to keep a clean sheet in this one against Southampton, but I do expect him to make some saves and give me some extra points. Now we move on to the 3 defenders that are in the starting lineup, and you can see that I've played Trippier against Aston Villa. Aston Villa has, there's been some magic in Aston Villa, and we saw they look pretty great versus Brentford in the last game this week they had, and they couldn't stop scoring. So obviously they do not have a manager right now, but I do still expect Newcastle to play a very balanced game. They are obviously a better side this season, and Trippier in for the clean sheet at 5.6 million. His expected point, as you can see, 6.2. So yeah, a clean sheet is somewhat with a high probability in this game. Now we move on to Koulibaly, who has been an absolute waste of a transfer that I did, and I accept that. More of a rush move I made. I wanted to cover those Chelsea clean sheets because I saw them evolving defensively, and things didn't turn out the way I favored them to be, or the way I wanted them to be. So Koulibaly didn't play the last game. He wasn't available in the squad, and previously he came on from the bench, and in one game he ended up losing the clean sheet. So Koulibaly hasn't been of a good transfer for my side yet. So I do intend to take him out, but in this one I'll just play him against Brighton. Next we move on to Cancelo. Cancelo plays Leicester this week. He's been amazing. He's been tremendous so far this season with his attacking returns in the UCL 2, in Premier League 2. A lot of people picked up Tau over him, and he did hurt those Tau owners because Tau was continuously blanking and Cancelo was among the attacking returns. Cancelo currently is under a bad patch, but with Man City, the chances of clean sheets are, like I talk about, are obviously always high. So when not an attacking return, you might expect some clean sheets from Man City. So specifically picking up Cancelo is the main reason to pick up Cancelo is the clean sheets and the attacking returns, and this is what I expect from him in this game against Leicester. Obviously Leicester played some balanced or a little less tough sides in the past 2 game weeks, and they outscored them. But obviously this is Man City and things won't be easy for Leicester, and they're obviously not scoring 4 again with that ease. So yeah, this is how the defense would look like. Now we move on to the midfield, and as you can see, Foden is here. Foden was benched. I won't lie, it was really disappointing to see Foden on the bench. Obviously, the team was fully rested, but still, things with Pep, he rested Foden. But I expect Foden to start versus Leicester, and I do expect him to return me some attacking returns. Foden links up pretty well with Haaland, and I am intending to retain Foden. I won't take him out. As you can see, the fixtures up ahead, he's got Leicester, he's got Fulham, he's got Brentford, he's got Leeds. These are the fixtures I want to target. Obviously, there is game week 16. After 2 game weeks, we're gonna go into the World Cup, and there are unlimited transfers. But before that, I would definitely target those fixtures with Foden and a triple Man City. Now we move on to Zaha. Zaha has been really inconsistent this season. Against Southampton, again, I do not expect him to return any attacking points until I am pretty lucky and he's just, magically he's been among the attacking returns. Obviously, he's a good winger, but he's really, really inconsistent. And the games where you expect him to return you points, he's just disappointing. And when you do not expect him to return points, he might score just to, keep his place in the fantasy 11. But to be very honest, I'm not pretty sure with some. If you look at the fixtures, Southampton obviously playing better football. West Ham United not a defensively vulnerable side. Obviously they did concede against Liverpool, but that was Liverpool against a decent opposition. They are a hard team to score against. And then again there is Nottingham Forest, which is obviously not an easy fixture. Now since they've started playing back four, they have evolved and they look a better side defensively. So I'm not pretty satisfied with Zaha. Obviously I've got money in the bank, and we'll see what transfer I'm intending to make. Then I've got Martinelli, obviously against Nottingham Forest. Martinelli is going to stay in throughout this season. 6.5 million, a pretty cheap one, and he's on the set pieces. Usually, he has cemented his place, and he's among the attacking returns, so he stays in my side. Next we move on to Andreas, who faces Everton. Everton slowly evolving, but I do think that they might concede against a good attacking opposition. And with obviously Crystal Palace was 1-2, but Crystal Palace was all over the place defensively, and they played a better game overall, Everton, in that game. But Andreas has been among the attacking returns. If you see, let's just open him, and if you could see view information, and so yeah, if you look at things here, I mean, he's got Everton at home, then Man City. Obviously he's going to be benched in this game. Man United again at side that might concede goals, Crystal Palace, Southampton. So yeah, at this price, I think he's a pretty cheap option, and at 4.6 or 4.5 million, whichever price you picked him up, he won't hurt you. So he's a bench player. And to be very honest, if you look at his points, so yeah, he's got 37 points and he's just 4.6 million. Obviously he's got some amazing games up ahead in which you can just in the tough games you can rotate him out, and in the games which you want to play him, you can just easily play him with the good set of fixtures he has. So yeah, that was Andreas. Oh, let me just check. Yeah, hopefully things are visible back again. So yeah, this is how what I want to talk about Andreas. Obviously in the upcoming games I'll show you how you can just rotate him out when the fixtures run get tough. Obviously, let's just move on to the forwards, and I'll talk about Mitrovic first. Mitrovic at 6.7 million. Obviously, in the tough fixtures versus Man City, Man United, Crystal Palace, you might have to switch to someone else because he's 6.7 million and Andreas is 4.6. 4.6 can be benched, but 6.7 million on the bench is is not ideal. So Mitrovic stays in for this game against Everton. Obviously, his expected point is a little low just because Everton has been playing better football, and it is not expected of him to score. But still, he's Mitrovic and he's pretty good with his heading, and he's in a good form. So, if we're lucky, we might see a goal or a couple goals. But that is just depending on the fixture and how things go in that. But the plan with Mitrovic is to sell him for someone cheap, because I personally think that there are options in the midfield you might go for if you can just downgrade Mitrovic to someone really cheap and throw him on the bench and just play him if you ever need him, someone like a Solanke or someone more cheaper than him. But yeah, we'll see how things go out. Then I talk about Firmino that I transferred in last week. Obviously this is one transfer I do regret. It was, I can say, a little bit pressure I took about from FPL Twitter. I had this FOMO that I might miss out on this good game that Liverpool had, because I didn't had Salah and I didn't want to yet to take a -4 to go for Salah. Obviously Salah is not in his best of forms, and I didn't want to risk that -4 to go in for Salah, but that part did work out well. But the part that went bad was, Firmino. I brought him in for Kane, and Harry Kane did end up scoring, and Firmino blanked. He was awful in that game. Obviously the whole Liverpool side was awful. They got defeated 1-0, and this is how things have been. But still, I think I'll retain Firmino versus Leeds. Obviously Tottenham not playing good football, they've been conceding goals. So yeah, these fixtures are okay if Firmino continuously plays and Nunes doesn't replaces him, because obviously there's no Diaz, and they do not have many attackers other than Carvalho, who's just a young player. So and Jota is out too, so Firmino might just link up with Nunes up ahead, a 4-4-2 or something similar we might see. So yeah, I'll just keep Firmino and hope that he returns some point. Obviously Leeds is a very defensively vulnerable side. Then we move on to the third forward, and it is obviously Erling Haaland, the best of best. He's been having an amazing season, and he doesn't look like he'll stop scoring. And I would advise you not to play with the armband and just give it to him. Obviously, if you want to punt on someone, if you're like my friend FPL Dale, who doesn't like perma captains, so you might just want to switch out the armband and give it to someone like if I was Dale, I might have given it to someone like KDB or Cancelo. But if you're like focused on gaining that rank, I wouldn't want to like risk out the armband and just go with Haaland with the set of fixtures he has: Leicester, Fulham, Brentford, Leeds, all easy fixtures for him. Then we look at the bench. Obviously Dalot sits there. There's Gui. I wouldn't want to double up on the Crystal Palace defense. I do regret one move on the wildcard too, and that was to I would have doubled up on Newcastle's defense, because their defense looks better than Crystal Palace's, because at that time I thought Crystal Palace would evolve defensively, but they did not. Dalot obviously in fixtures like Fulham or West Ham United, I do expect Dalot to keep a clean sheet. Man United is evolving slowly, and with Martinez and Varane obviously out now, but with Martinez they look a better defensive side, and Dalot is playing a good game under Eric Ten Hag. Lord Almiron stays on the bench, but I'm not pretty sure. I might just take out Andreas and play Lord Almiron, a real Ballon d'Or contender. He got a goal in the last game. Sadly he was on my bench, but in the previous game where I bought him in, he did return me 10 points. So yeah, Lord Almiron for the Ballon d'Or. But jokes apart, I might just play him in place of Andreas. Obviously my final team would be out on Twitter once again when the deadline passes or before the deadline. So looking at things here, what I would want to do this game week, I have one transfer, and what I'm really considering this week is to take out Zaha from the side and bring in Salah. It would still leave me with 1.5 million in the bank, and this would, let's just put Almiron in instead of Andreas, or I could just bench Mitrovic. So most probably this is what I'm thinking about. If I will check some of the predicted lineups. If Koulibaly is still missing, Dalot might come in for Koulibaly, but I wouldn't experiment a lot with my midfield. I think this is a pretty much set midfield for me, and Haaland with the armband, and I'll just give the vice captain to Mo Salah. So this is my 3-5-2 formation is what I am thinking to go in with in this fixture. So when you move on to game week 15, and you look at this side, I've still got 1.5 in the bank, and I might, if I feel like that I would have to replace someone in the midfield, I might take out Andreas, but Andreas is still safe, and this is what I currently have then. So Mitrovic versus Man City, obviously a tough fixture. If I look at in game week 15, if I look at the defense is pretty much alright. Guaita obviously alright. If I feel like that I have to play Ward, I still have Ward with an easy fixture. Obviously I would still go with Guaita. So yeah, midfield is obviously alright too. Martinelli versus Chelsea, Almiron versus Southampton, a good game. Salah versus Spurs, a good game. Foden versus Fulham, these all stay in. So yeah, if I feel like I might want to punt on someone, I might just take out Mitrovic in this game, and go with someone really cheap and place him on the bench. Someone with the likes of Solanke, probably. He's got Leeds in this game week, so yeah, I might just go for Solanke and play him in this game week. And this is how game week 15 would be. And game week 16, when I come up here, an easy transfer for me would be, I might just, still have 2.4 in the bank. So yeah, I would just take out Almiron, but I would fall short on Saka. So yeah, I wouldn't be able to reach out Saka at 10.4. Do I have someone for the forwards? I do not think we've got anyone at 10.4. So yeah, Darwin Núñez. This is what I'm currently thinking about till game week 16. So yeah, this is what my plans are till game week 16. Let me just give you a small recap. In this game week 14, I would just take out Zaha, bring in Salah. In game week 15, Solanke comes in for Mitrovic, and in game week 16, a straight swap from Firmino to Darwin Núñez. Obviously, in 17 there would be unlimited transfers, and I would have to prepare a whole wild card for it. Initially, if we just look at the wild card, what moves would we have? If we just keep Solanke, take out Darwin Núñez, bring in Harry Kane in. What 1 million short. So yeah, let's just fix this real quick. If I take out Solanke and I go more cheaper, Andres obviously stays in with that. If I go more cheaper with the forwards, let's see what moves we have. So yeah, let's just for the initial stage stuff, let's just bring him in. I've got 0.5 million in the bank and him. So yeah, a 4-4-2 is still not a really bad side. I would have to, I'm really considering doing this move when we go for the wild card. Oh, sorry, my bad. Then we'll go to goalkeepers and still give me 0.6 to set out my team. So Andres would stay in. Goyi might leave out for someone. I might have to look at someone pretty cheap. Koulibaly isn't really someone I would want to go with ahead. He's not featuring in a lot of games. So if I just bring in Ben White into the defense, I've still got 1.6 million in the bank, so I wouldn't want to. I could keep Solanke then. So this is initially what I've been thinking about the what would you say, the wild card. Obviously Salah is a big question mark in here. I would want to replace him with someone else if he is not performing. Obviously these Aston Villa is a good fixture, Leicester again a good fixture, but it all depends upon his form. If Salah goes out of here and I just move on to Saka just for a simple move, I would have 4.9 million in the bank. With ease I can keep Núñez up ahead. So this is, I'm just playing with my initial draft. Darwin Núñez, straight swap of Darwin Núñez. My bench is alright. It has got players that would feature in the games. Obviously Gueye would cover that Crystal Palace defense. Arrizabalaga covers that Newcastle defense. Chelsea defense. Trippier covers that Newcastle. Dalot in for the Manchester United. Cancelo, Foden, Haaland stays into triple up for that Man City attack and defense. Ben White covers that Arsenal defense. Saka and Martinelli for that Arsenal attack. The fixture set is alright. I wouldn't really mind going in against West Ham or Brighton. Newcastle again, obviously Newcastle would be a tough game. Spurs on their current form, I wouldn't really mind that. Man United a tough game. Then we've got Everton, Brentford, Aston Villa, Leicester. So yeah, these are all good fixtures, and I still have 1.9 in the bank. If there are obviously the likes of Mason Mount too, if you want to jump on that instead of Saka and bring Saka later on. So yeah, we've got some picks to really look forward, but that is still game week 17. But yeah, just giving you a little bit of what I'm thinking. This is the attack is somewhat similar to this is what I'm thinking about. But yeah, let's move back to game week 16. So till game week 16, these are the transfers I would want to make, the 3 transfers that I would make. So yeah, this is currently where I stand. Obviously Haaland perma captain in all the 3 fixtures. This is what the game week 14 team looks like. So yeah, Let me know what are your plans and what are you thinking for the next 3 game weeks before the World Cup kicks in, and what are your plans after the World Cup, and who are the players that you're thinking to bring in. So let me know in the comments below. Please do subscribe if you are new here. So this is currently it from my side. Thank you all for watching.